Hello everybody and welcome back to another YouTube video. In this video, I'm going to go over a couple of things, a couple of trades that I did today. I'm going to go over my thought process into what strikes, how do I choose which strike price to play, which expiration to play, and so on. So first things first, in order to know if something's a real account or not, you'd see at the top, it will be yellow if it's a fake account, green if it's a real account, right? So you go into monitor, here's the trades for today. A little bit of over trading today, could have done much better, but thank God, up 1,300 on this day. I think it's like 1,200 after commissions or something. So most of it was from Amazon. And I just want to go over real quickly, how do I choose which expiration to play, right? And which strike. So if we go here to the option chain and we go to May 7th, that's the expiration date. So on May 7th, this contract is going to expire worthless if it is out of the money, right? And then this would be next week's and the following week. So how do I choose which strike to play? The magic word is delta. So deltas is what's going to tell you how much you're going to make or lose per dollar. It's an estimate. It's not exact. And a lot of things you got to keep in mind too. You got to keep in mind the spread, and you got to keep in mind the theta as time is passing, right? So I'm going to go real quick here on the whiteboard just to explain what I mean. So let's say you want to enter Amazon at 3,400, right? And your stop loss, you want to exit the trade when Amazon goes to 33.90. So this difference right here is $10. So the stop loss, right, is $10 away. So what you would do here is simple formula, right? The formula is your max loss divided by your risk per share, right, equals your total delta. What does that mean? So your max loss is how much the dollar amount that you are risking on the trade. So let's say, for example, I want to risk $1,000 on this trade, right? Now, what would my risk per share be? My risk per share is basically how far the stop loss is from the entry, right? So in this case, the risk per share is $10. And the total delta after dividing it would be 100. Now, if we go back to the option chain, we see here that delta is 51. So when I say total delta, what that means is all of the contracts added up. So if I were to get 3 contracts, my total delta would be 51 times 3, which is 153, or 150 just to keep it simple. If I buy 10 contracts, my total delta would be 500 because 50 times 10. Now going back to the whiteboard here, my total delta, the formula tells me that my total delta is 100, which means that I can only get a maximum of 2 contracts. Why? Because 50 times 2 equals 100. If I get 3 contracts, my total delta would be 150, which means that I'm going over my risk. And what I even recommend, just to even take it a step further in order for you to protect your money and make sure you don't lose more than what you're supposed to, I would recommend to stay under the total delta. So if your total delta is 100, I would recommend that you don't make it get to 100. Maybe you can get 2 contracts with a delta of 40, right? So for example, 40 multiplied by 2 would equal 80. Now, if your total delta is 80, you're good because it is under the 100. Now, why do we want to stay under 100? The reason is because you have to account for the spread on the contract, meaning you might lose even more just because the spread is a little bit wider when you want to get out. And also theta, time passing. You don't know how long you're going to be in the trade for. And if you happen to hold it for a long time, you don't want to get screwed by theta. So that's why you want to protect yourself by making sure that your delta is not that big where it'll harm you. Okay. So that's the best way for you to manage risk. If you have any questions on this, please let me know. Send me a DM on Instagram, or leave a comment down below. Another thing I want to share right here, going back to Thinkorswim, is a psychological phenomenon that messed me up today. So I found out, oh, look, I'm up 1,000 or whatever. And then for some reason, I didn't want to be risky anymore or like take on a trade. Even though Amazon, my last exit on Amazon was early in the morning. My last exit was at 10:36. Right? My last exit on Amazon was 10:36. And I didn't play it again until much later, like at 2 o'clock. Right? So going back here to Amazon, 10:36, it was still 34.60. And then by 2 o'clock, it's already like $60 lower. So huge potential here. But the matter of the fact is I got too hung up on the P&L and thinking, oh, I don't want to risk anything. But in all reality, that has nothing to do with the stock. The stock doesn't know how much you're up, doesn't know how much you're down, nor does it really care. That's why I'm a big believer in we really have to try our best to take our edge every time we see it. Every time we see our strategy is in play, you have to take it, right? You can't pick and choose. If you know it's an 8+ setup, you have to take it, even if it's with, one share or one contract. Picking and choosing when to take it and when not to take it is going to make you inconsistent. All right. And a good way for you to remain consistent in taking your edge is to not even look at your P&L ever. Like the faster that you get to that point where you just never look at your P&L, the better you'll get, or like the quicker you'll be consistent. Why? Because of exactly what happened today. I looked at my P&L. I knew I was up a good amount. I didn't want to risk anything, right? And in all reality, when you're up money, you're doing something right. And if the opportunity is there, there's no reason for you to stop trading. Okay. So that's pretty much it for today. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like. Don't forget to subscribe, share, comment, all that good stuff. And stay tuned for the next video. Peace.